Hey Tamers, and welcome to today's video. Today we're talking about the purple staple cards in the Digimon TCG. I am finally almost done with all the colors. I am just missing white after this video. So if you haven't checked out the other ones, go ahead and check them out. Also make sure you are subbed so you can look at future videos that I do upload. Without further ado, let's get into these purple staples. So off the bat, you can see we got about 86 cards. So we're going to run through this quickly. Pagumon. So purple really just focuses on kind of having a trash, right? Having a certain amount in the trash, and then it triggers cards, or there's decks like Beelzemon where you trash from the deck and then affects triggers or anything like that. So Pagumons are really good because when you do attack, you're able to trash the card from your deck. The best, absolute best DGX to get is this Demimeramon, as you probably already know. It is really expensive. I think we have a reprint, or hopefully there will be one coming out, but on deletion, trigger, draw one, and then trash one card from your hand. So this is fantastic because it allows you to do two things at once, or three things if you really think about it. If you attack, now you're attacking. Then if you do get deleted, you get to draw one card. Then you're able to trash a card from your hand. Sometimes, or a lot of the times, this is better because now you're able to choose a card that you want to go in the trash, and that's going to help you do a lot of strategies or combos that you want to do because certain cards you need in your trash. So I did cut off that Xiaomon just because that retaliation was on your turn only. It's not all turns, which I kind of read that till now when I was recording. So I did cut that card off. It is still a good card to have if you want to have retaliation on your turn, then you can swing over something. But other than that, it's not that good. Up next, we got the other Pagumon, same as the other one, but this one you just trash two. You do want to be careful because there has been matches where you kind of deck yourself out and all your opponent needs to do is end their turn and then you lose. Up next, Gazimon. So here we go. All turns, if you have 10 cards or more in your trash, you get retaliation. So this is much better than obviously that baby. And BT10, we finally got it. We don't have many cards that give retaliation, so Gazimon is a staple for sure in this list. Up next, we just got a plain old vanilla 2-play option. One of the best rookies for purple is this Gabumon. On deletion, trigger, draw two, then trash one card from your hand. So this is exactly just like Demimeramon, except you draw two, which is pretty nuts. And then when you have the Gabumon and the Demimeramon underneath a champion, now you're drawing three and trashing two. So really, really quick on the trashing. Tapirmon, on deletion, trigger, draw one. Gazimon, floodgate card. I don't have to talk much about it, but just, being able to have your opponents not gain memory besides Tamers is just phenomenal. Tsukaimon is good for the on deletion, as you've seen a lot of these cards trigger on deletion. So if you were to have, get deleted, you gain one memory. That one memory is crucial sometimes. Up next, we got Labramon, on play, trigger, draw one, and then trash one. So if you don't want to, kind of the downside of these on deletion cards is you have to wait till you get deleted. And sometimes, you don't want to do that. So Labramon does bypass that, allowing you to just trigger, draw one, and then trash one. This is a good card to open with. A lot of people, including myself, what I would do, instead of digivolving, I would actually just drop the Labramon. And that way you have a body on board. And it's good for memory choking sometimes. And just allowing a trash is the biggest thing. Moving on, we got the Elikmon. Just because you're able to delete an opponent's level 3 when you get deleted. I like this card. The downside is the 4 cost for the play cost, but you're not really going to do that. If you combine this with the Demimeramon, right? Now you're not only deleting level 3, but now you can draw and trash. So, and of course, if it doesn't die for some reason, then you can just keep chipping away. And then we got Psychmon, a floodgate card. Players can reduce play cost, double-edged sword, like I talked about in the previous video, where it also affects you. So if you have a Death X and they have a full board, you can't necessarily play that, or you can't really digicross, so be mindful, but Psychmon is phenomenal. Now we got this Devimon, the promo. This one was super expensive when it came out. I think it finally is starting to drop. This is good for those decks where you need to trash from the deck. Not only that, it's also good to help build your trash. And I actually use this on my Beelzemon deck. If you guys haven't checked that deck list out, go ahead and check it out. Pretty good. Up next, we got another version of Gabumon Starter Deck 6 is kind of related to the counterpart of the on deletion, except this one, when you attack, you trigger, draw one, then you trash one card from your hand. So depending how you are building your deck, you could use either this Gabumon or the on deletion Gabumon. Although the on deletion Gabumon gives you draw two, but it only triggers when it gets deleted. This one, every time you attack, you can draw and then trash one. Then we got a simple blocker Vilemon, pretty good. Up next, we got Devimon for retaliation. I like this one, even though it's a play cost of 6, it has retaliation on its own, and then it has a retaliation as an inheritable, so that's also nuts. If you want to go with a cheaper version, would be Saberdramon, just to give that inherit of retaliation, and the play cost is 4, so that's also pretty good. Up next, we got Black Gaudomon, really just a security card that's able to play if it gets hit there. Then a side note here, it is a dark animal, so it does work with a Grand Dracmon, just FYI. Amerimon, just a plain old Evo for 1, helping you get up to your Mega as quickly as possible. Then we got Ogremon. Ogremon, on play, you can trash 1 card from your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. This comes in handy for those floodgate cards, of course. Not only that, you're able to trash 1 card from your hand. Again, going back into that gimmick if you're doing a deck that requires of trashing to activate the effects. Ginkakumon Promotes is a staple for sure, just because it has Rush. And if you do have enough for the play cost, you can just drop it, and then boom, there you go. You can rush for game if that's what you're going for. But there's a lot of decks that allow you to play level 4s or lower from your trash or from your hand. And then when that happens, it enters play and it has Rush, and you can swing right then and there. Up next, Icemon Scatter Mode. Honestly, when the ban list first hit, I actually thought this one was the one that was going to get hit, not the other Icemon. The reason I say that is because just being able to draw 3 cards and then trashing 2 is just insane. It's so busted, right? You're talking about filling up your trash like instantly, drawing 3 cards, going through your deck, getting pieces that you need, and it's a 4 play cost. And then if it doesn't die, you're just going to keep swinging, so now your opponent is forced to delete it. So I thought this one was the one I was going to get hit, not the other one, which is why I don't have it on this list. But that one is also a good card to have for sure, especially if you are running scatter modes in there. Up next, just hybrid for game, Loemon, plain and simple. Soulmon, we got when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. This is fantastic for those decks that you're going to be trashing from your deck from. Fangmon, just a simple retaliation champion. Then we got Wizardmon, has retaliation, but the inherit if you're running a retaliation deck, and then if you're able to play some Digimon that have retaliation, it gives them Rush. So that's pretty nice. Ogremon here, when attacking, you may trash a card in your hand to give this Digimon security attack +1, which is really good, depending on how you're running the deck as well, because now you're trashing cards, and on the upside, you're getting security attack +1. And of course, there's cards that when you trash from your hand, their effects trigger. Not only that, it's inherit. You can trash a card from your hand to give this Digimon 2000 DP for their turn, which is fantastic because, like I said, there are a lot of purple Megas or Digimon in general that do not have high DP. The Vidramon is another one that I use for the retaliation. So these champions with the retaliation are really good because sometimes you have Megas or Ultimates or just cards that are annoying. So then what you do, you just Digivolve on top. And now you swing into it. If you have Demi-Meramon or if you have, Gabumon underneath, they get deleted and now their effects trigger, allowing you to draw and then trash while taking another body away from the board. Dobermon is just fantastic. On deletion, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then return 1 purple Digimon card or 1 purple Tamer card from your trash to your hand. He is just, he's amazing because what purple has right now, or I guess had, prior in the beginning up to like now, you could say, is you had a lot of cards that allowed you to trash from the deck, trash from your hand, but there wasn't many ways to kind of do a monster reborn, right? Or just get something from the trash back into your hand. So Dobermon allowed you to do just that. And then just adding that purple Tamer in there is insane because now when you're trashing and then Tamers go there and you actually need them, now you go ahead and just swing with Dobermon and bam, now you get your purple Tamer. Up next, we got the Promo Wizardmon. This one is pretty good. When you use an option card, you gain 1 memory. Lilithmon. Should I say more? The other Wizardmon, when this card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory, which, hello, a lot of these cards trash from your deck. Then when attacking, you may reveal 1 purple card from your hand and place it on top of your deck. So Oh my god, insane combo here with the Beelzemon. And I actually did talk about it in my Beelzemon deck list, but if you have a card that, it's in your hand and it has an effect that says when it gets trashed from your deck, and you have the Wizardmon underneath a Digimon in your field, now you just go ahead and attack, reveal that card, put it on top of your deck, and then if you have a Digimon that trashes or anything like that when you attack, now you just trash the card that you put on the deck, and now that effect triggers. Up next, we got Witchmon, another security Digimon. This one's definitely better than the Gatomon, because when it is on play, you return one purple level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So you get to play it and return something. Up next, we got, when attacking Garurumon, trigger, draw one, then trash one card from your hand. So it's just like the Gabumon, but now it's in the champion form. Devimon, oh my god, this card was stupid pricey when it came out because it comes from the starter deck 6, and it was the first, probably still the only one play cost to evil blocker. Kogamon, he may not be as a staple yet, but I think he's gonna get there, because now you're giving green retaliation. Who thought about that? Like, yes, green needs retaliation, like it just doesn't have so much busted stuff already, right? So get this card, because later on I feel like there's obviously going to be more purple and green, and it's just going to be insane. Black Gatomon with rush card, and then being able to get retaliation as an inherit is pretty nice. Wizardmon, just a good dual color to have, especially if you're playing like a Mastemon, right? Dual color card. There it is. If you want to activate Chaos Degradation, if you want to activate Flame Hellscythe, which is obviously on this list. Lady Devimon, probably one of the most used ultimates in purple, and pretty simple why. When you Digivolve, you trigger, draw 2, and you trash 2. So you're able to go through your deck and then build your trash at the same time. Inherit, when you use an option card, delete one of your opponent's level 3, which is good for those pesky Floodgate cards, right? Neo Devimon, oh my, oh my, oh my. I love this card, and it's only going to get so much better with all this Cross Hearts that's coming out, because when an opponent plays a Tamer, gain 3 memory. That's insane. So now even if they play a 2-cost Tamer, it's going to cost them 5 memory. And then during your opponent's turn, when an opponent's Tamer becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. I'm telling you, this is going to be such a great card against those Crossheart decks. Pick it up. Please pick it up. Up next, we got Rebellymon, 1 Digivolving, trash 1 card from your hand. To have this Digimon gain blocker and retaliation, and then all turns, it is also treated as black. So this card has helped me personally a lot when, I have no more security and they don't have any Digimon, or they can hybrid for game the next round. I'll Digivolve into Rebellymon. Now I get blocker and retaliation. So even if they have Omega, they have to think twice, because I will block them and then I'll take it down with me. So now, Skullgreymon. Let me just say something real quick. If you're playing a deck that trashes cards from your hand, this Skullgreymon is a must and a staple card for that deck. Reason being is because when this card gets trashed from your hand, you can place it under one of your purple Digimon as its bottom Digivolution cards. And what does that inherit? Retaliation. Do I need to say more? You can put Skullgreymon underneath a level 3, and now it has retaliation. When attacking, you may trash 1 card in your hand to have this Digimon gain 3000 DP for the turn. So keep in mind, you attack, it keeps that DP until the end of your turn. So when you do Digivolve, and if by chance you get to unsuspend yourself somehow, it still has that 3000 DP until your turn is officially over. Lucemon Chaos Mode. Being able to play, or when Digivolving, and delete one of your opponent's Tamers or level 6 lower Digimon is just busted, right? I don't know when or how this Lucemon Digivolution or deck is going to come about, but it's just going to be insane. Pick these up when you can. Obviously, you see this in Mastemon deck, and they splash them in there 1 or 2 in certain decks, of course. But this was one of the cards, especially in BT7 when it came out. Like, okay, man, we could finally delete Tamers with this Chaos Mode. Although we didn't have Blackboard Greymon yet, because I think Blackboard Greymon came out in BT8. So we only had Zwart Defeat, and then we had Lucemon Chaos Mode. Up next, Myotismon, just because it has retaliation as an inherit. Skull Satamon, when Digivolving, you may return one purple Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So another card that allows you to get something back from your trash. Where Garurumon, if you have 4 more cards in your trash, this Digimon gains 2000 DP. So this is more if you need more DP for your Mega, here's a way to do it. Now we got Minervamon, and we all know the Minerva loop and all that stuff. So that's its own reason of why you should have Minervamon. And then of course a new Minervamon support that's coming out. I believe it's in 11, which is coming up really soon. Why not get this card? On top of Retaliation, and every time your opponent plays a Digimon, you may play 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying for its cost. And what was I just talking about? I was just talking about that Ginkakumon promote. You run that in there, your opponent plays a Digimon, and now you can play Ginkakumon promote. It doesn't matter if it's their turn, right? But now it's your turn, and they can attack anyway, so that rush really wouldn't matter at that point. But either way, that's another way of playing it for free. Then on deletion, if you have 2 or fewer Digimon in play, you may play 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon card or 1 Mervamon from your trash without paying for its play cost, which is coming up in BT11. Up next, we got Venom Myotismon. This one, it's not high up on the list, really, because obviously you have the 4 for Evo, but it has security attack +1. And now the good kicker here is that I think he pays for himself, because when one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. Now this only works on your opponent's turn. So if they end up suspending themselves by attacking or by an effect, this would trigger. And my friend that I play with used to use this on me, and I would end my own turn. And it would piss me off because I would forget. But there it is, Venom Myotismon. Metal Garurumon. When attacking, you can play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying for its memory cost. Any on-play effects don't work. This is nice. This could be a good little tech card to have. I'm going to dabble on this and try and make a deck with this, because I read that. I'm like, there's a lot of good level 3 out there. So you could potentially build a whiteboard. But again, the downside of this one is, you know, a lot of these cards have little DP, and he is one of them with 11,000 DP. Up next, we got Beelzemon, a staple for a Beelzemon deck just because you're able to warp from an Impmon. But even then, just when you do Digivolve, you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, and you get to Digivolve and delete something for free. I mean, why not? Mastemon, BT3. This one, besides being a good card for Mastemon deck, is also a good tech card, because when you do Digivolve, you can trash 1 card from the top of both players' security stacks, then play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with a level of 4 or less from your trash without paying for its memory cost. So for example, I Digivolve into Mastemon. We both get rid of our securities. Let's say, you know, now we have no security, myself and my opponent. I have a Ginkakumon promote in the trash. I can play that, and now I can rush for game. Up next, we got Lilithmon. Oh, it started to snow. When Digivolving, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may return up to 2 purple option cards from your trash to your hand. It's insane. Then your turn, once per turn, when you use an option card, gain 2 memory. I don't know where Lilithmon is going to go in the future, and I don't think we're ever going to stop using option cards, right? So she is a must. Pick her up. She is phenomenal. Anubismon. When Digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying for its memory cost. Then your turn, when you play a Digimon from your trash, that Digimon gains Rush. Good tech card to have. Another fantastic card to have. This one was really good. And if we would have got this card earlier when there was a lot of Rookie Rush running around, it would have shut them all down. Because when attacking, activate one of the following effects below. If you have no other Digimon in play, trigger all of them. Gain 1 memory. This Digimon gains 2000 DP for the turn. Delete up to 3 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So the reason I put this up here is because you never know when Rookie Rush is going to come back. I don't necessarily think it went away because you still have D-Brigade. So probably a good counter against something like D-Brigade. Now we got Titamon. When Digivolving, trash 1 card from your hand. Then you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying for its cost. See, so there's a lot of cards that allow you to play that Ginkaku promote and then just go ahead and swing. Your turn, once per turn, when you trash a card from your hand using one of your effects, this Digimon gains 2000 DP and security attack +1. Really, really nice. I actually did make a Titamon deck. I don't know if I have a deck list. I'm not too sure. I've made so many videos at this point that I don't know. I think I did. Up next, Bellstar. Just because Bellstar, a standalone deck, she is a force to be reckoned with. You can't really splash her into any other decks, right? But like I said, just her alone is busted. So for this one, when playing this card from your hand, reduce its play cost by 1 for each 3 Musketeers Digimon card and option card with a memory cost of 7 in your trash. On play, return 1 option card with a memory cost of 7 from your trash to your hand. Then use 1 option card with a memory cost of 7 in your hand without paying for its memory cost. It will get to the point where you can play her for free, or just for 3, or what have you. So busted. Up next, we got Creepymon BT8. It is a secret rare, and when it first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." But I think as the sets go on, you're gonna see more play from this Creepymon. The reason being is, so when you Digivolve, trash the top 2 cards of your deck for each of your opponent's Digimon in play. If you trash 4 or more cards with this effect, you may play 1 level 5 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying for its memory cost. So you could play Lucemon. So if we end up getting a level 6 Lucemon, I think you're going to see play with this Creepymon. When attacking once per turn, for every 10 cards in your trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and this Digimon gets 3,000 for the turn. Mind you, it says for every 10. So if it has 20, it basically doubles. Up next, we got Golfmon, another card that I don't think I've seen much play at all. I've used it. The reason why I like this is, aside from when you Digivolve, all players trash cards in their hand until they have 5 cards left. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, you may unsuspend one of your Digimon. That can be himself or someone else. So I think he's actually a good tech card to have, especially if you just need that one last swing and you're able to do it. There it is. Beelzemon from EX2. So when you Digivolve or when you attack, you can trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards, add a level to that Digimon. It doesn't need to be in a Beelzemon deck. If it's in a deck where you're always trashing, you have a big stack in your trash, he will work. Right? He's not a standalone where you can only use him in Beelzemon. Now, of course, here's where his other effect works, right? So if it gets trash from your deck, you can play 1 Inmon from your trash without paying for its memory cost. But again, it doesn't necessarily have to be just in the Beelzemon deck list. Now we got this promo Metal Garurumon, and I didn't start my YouTube journey yet at that point, but I had a deck list of Metal Garurumon, and I love this deck so much. Now it's too slow compared to what we got now. I am going to try and make one, see if I can make it more relevant, but just, digibursting your inherit sometimes, you don't want to do that. But anyway, if you don't know what this does, Digiburst 2, use a purple option card with a memory cost of 7 or less in your hand without paying for its memory cost. So you could probably splash one in there in a Bellstar deck. Junomon. Retaliation. When Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then return 1 card from your trash to your hand. So now we got a Mega that not only has Retaliation, but now you're able to get something from the trash back to your hand after you trash. Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. Digivolve 2 from Ophanimon. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has a purple card in its Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If this Digimon has a yellow card in its Digivolution cards, recover +1, so you can get up to both triggers. On deletion, you may play 1 purple or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying for its memory cost. It could be in a solid purple deck, it could be in a solid yellow deck, you'll get some benefit from it, and then when it gets deleted, you're able to play a level 4, purple or yellow, so you can bring that Lucemon, that level 3 Lucemon, and now you can recover another one. Or you can get a Floodgate card out. Possibilities are endless with Ophanimon Fall Down Mode in that sense. Up next, Beelzemon Blast Mode. Again, this is one of those cards where it doesn't need to be in a Beelzemon deck. And let's get into it. When this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower. So right there already, if you're focusing on a deck that's trashing from the deck itself, and you manage to trash Blast Mode, now you can just delete a level 4 or lower. So that could be blockers or Floodgate cards. And then when Digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. So it doesn't restrict it to just one. If there's 2 level 6s out there, you delete both of them. If there's 4 level 3s, you delete all of them, right? so long as it's the highest level. Then for every 10 cards in your trash, this Digimon gains security attack +1. And that's what makes this card busted, right? I know it's a evo cost of 6, but when you do Digivolve, you at least leave them at 3, and you get to remove the highest play cost card in their deck. And now next turn, you're ready to go ahead and go in and do some damage, so they have to get rid of this card. Up next, Death Xmon. I'm not even going to spend time on this card, but he's purple and black. Or Denimon, or Daimon. Or Denimon, that's what I call her. So DNAing, when DNAing, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon and all of their level 5 or lower Digimon. For each Digimon deleted by this effect, recovery +1. Do you know how busted this is? Now, granted, it's hard to DNA 2 level 6s, unless you specifically make a deck to kind of turbo into those Digimon to warp. You're just wiping everything. And then, as if the card's not good enough already, on deletion, you may trash the top card of your security stack to play this card without paying its memory cost. So yeah, go ahead, get rid of her. I'll trash my security, and bam, she's back. Yeah, I went against her a few times, and man, she was a headache. Up next, we got Millenniumon. You really don't see play anymore with Millenniumon, but I believe he is still fantastic. When Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of their deck. That is why. So, for example, if you're going against Examon where they have Evade, you're not deleting it, you're just simply putting it back into the bottom of their deck, so it can't bypass that. So, Evade in general can't, protect it from Millenniumon. The other good thing about this is on deletion, if this card had Digivolution cards, you may play this card from your trash without paying for its memory cost. So, this was also good if you have, I don't know, if you want to swing into something else and it has 13,000 DP, but you actually have Digivolution sources, swing over it, and he just comes back. Which is pretty nuts. And if there's ways to put cards under him, I mean, he's living for as long as you're able to put sources underneath him. That's crazy. Anyway, Death the Cannon, another card that I think you should have if you are focusing on decks that trash from the deck, because when this one gets trashed, it goes into your hand. And a lot of the times when you do run those decks, and let's say, I don't know, you're running like a Trump Sword, right? It gets trashed. Now you can't use it. What's nice about this, it kind of has that fail safe of if it does get trashed, it's coming to my hand no matter what. Then delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level you can delete with this card. So overall, it's a good Gaia Force that goes to your hand. Darkness Claw, good for a few reasons. Play cost of 1. You give DP to your Digimon, 3,000, which is actually a lot. The security is basically a Hammer Spark. You gain 2 memory. Night Raid, just being able to play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without activating his on-play effects. Even so, you're playing a rookie for 2 costs from your trash. Heat Viper, you may delete one of your Digimon to delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon level 4 or lower. The reason I put this card here is because there are some cards or, Digimon cards that you do want to delete, because then if it triggers their inheritor, whatever it is, Heat Viper, and then you're able to delete to a Digimon. So for example, if your opponent has 2 blockers, you have Millennium on the board, he has a source underneath, go ahead and play Heat Viper. Delete that Millenniumon. Millenniumon is going to come back because of his own on deletion effect. Up next, we got Dark Despair. Just giving one of your Digimon retaliation until the end of your opponent's next turn, I think is critical, because if you're about to lose and you have a blocker or you have someone with retaliation, and you're able to swing into it and then delete it, is phenomenal. And then, of course, the Inherit, I think, is perfect for this card because it gets it back to your hand. You don't want it to really trigger, because then what if you don't have any Digimon on play to give it retaliation, right? Jack Raid. Gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. And did I mention it's free to play? And then the security effect is gain 2 memories. So Hell's Gate, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon. I actually prefer this card over Trump Sword, because Trump Sword, it has to be unsuspended. Now, for example, if you swing, let's say your opponent swings into you and it triggers Trump Sword can't delete it because it's suspended. It needs to be unsuspended. Well, Hell's Gate, that's the reason why I love it, because you can just delete level 6 or higher. And I know there's, okay, well, you can't delete level 5s or lower. True, but that's why you would have retaliation or, other forms of deleting them. Then, play cost of 1, Demonic Disaster, just being able to delete your Digimon to unsuspend one of your purple Digimon and then swing again. This actually helps a lot. Let's say you have a Blast Mode Beelzemon, you swing, you check all their security. Now let's say you have 4 memory, you play a rookie for 3, you play a Demonic Disaster, you pop it, and now you can unsuspend that Blast Mode and swing for game because that rookie is not going to have Rush. Glaive Memory Boost, just a memory boost. We already know what it does. Goes through your deck and then gives you memory later on. Underworld's Call, good for those trashing from your hand decks because when it gets trashed, you get to draw 1. Then you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying for its memory cost. Another way to play Ginkaku Promote, just throwing it out there, or a Floodgate card. Fly Bullet is probably the best removal that we got right now. Delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. Then the security effect, it triggers. Now we got the restricted Calling from Darkness. It is restricted to 1 now, rightfully so, but this card is busted. Delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. The combos with this card is insane. And then the security effect, it gets added to your hand, which is phenomenal, especially now that it's limited at 1. Missed memory boost, just like any memory boost, but this one, you trash 2 cards from your deck, then you draw 1. Good for those decks that you want to build up your trash really quickly and then get memory afterwards. Death Slinger, I love this card. When it gets trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. And then I actually think this is one of the best removal cards for purple right now, especially if you are running heavy purple decks that, you know, your trash builds up really quick. So this one, you delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards, you add 1 level. So all that means is if you have 20, right, which seems like a lot, but you've seen all these cards that trash fairly quick, and then obviously there's like tamers like A and Mako that when you swing, you trash 1, etc. So it builds up fast. So now you can delete potentially a level 6 for playing it for 4. Then security effect, it just triggers. Then Megiddo Flame, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. You may delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. Security effect is more for a Guilmon deck, so you can play 1 Guilmon from your trash without paying for its memory cost. But this, it's just crazy. You delete one of your own Digimon, so you could delete an Aizmon Scatter Mode. Now you're triggering the Scatter Mode, and you're deleting a level 6. Now we got Purple Memory Boost. Just Purple Memory Boost. That's Claw. Delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. This is insane because it's a 1 cost. So let's say I swing with the Aizmon Scatter Mode, it doesn't get deleted. Now you can play Deathclaw, delete it, and now you actually trigger his on deletion effect. And yeah, so you can see where I'm going with this security effect. Delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, which is not bad at all. I think this is probably one of the most busted dual colored option cards. Flame Hell Scythe. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP for the turn. Then you may play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with 6,000 DP or less from your trash without paying for its memory cost. Security effect, it triggers the main effect. This card in Mastemon deck is stupid. Magna Angemon from your trash, and now you recover +1, and now you got another ultimate, then you digivolve into another mega, and now you can DNA, and now that you get, yeah, it's insane. Flame Hell Scythe is stupid. BT2 Mats, just because sets you to 3, and you can return 1 purple Digimon card or a purple option card from your trash to your hand when you do play this card. So because of those 2 effects, it makes this card a staple must-have card for your purple decks. I said must-haves a lot. Up next, we got Mimi. All turns, when a player uses an option card, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. If you have 2, now you're gaining 2 memories, so they stack. And another tamer is Kari. Kari is actually really good. I didn't use her as much when she first came out, but then later on I used her more and I was like, man, she really makes a difference. All turns, when a card is removed from your security stack, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. So if you get attacked, a card is getting removed, or anything like that obviously removes cards. Up next, we got Sora and Mimi. If your opponent doesn't have a level 4 or lower Digimon in play, you gain 2 memory. So this is kind of like Sora and Joe, but they need to have a level 4 or lower. So mind you, if they do play a level 3, you're not going to get it. Your turn, when one of your purple Digimon attacks, you may suspend this tamer to trigger draw 1, then trash 1 card from your hand. And this is why this card is essential, because you want to trash cards from your hand, obviously, especially if you want to build up especially if you want to build up your trash. Then, last tamer is Alice McCoy. Being able to digivolve your level 5 into a 6 by deleting another Digimon and reduce it by 3 is insane. So now this means you can actually play Venomiotismon, delete something, possibly triggering their on deletion effect. For example, Doberman, and now you get something else from the trash. Now that Venomiotismon is going to cost 1. That was a long list. So there it is. Purple staples that I think you should get as a purple player. Check out the other staple cards. And up next is the white staple cards. Thankfully, that one is not really a long list. I'll see you guys there.